With the NFL preseason starting today, actually, well, it started last Thursday on the Hall of Fame game, I decided to do a fun little thing called 32 teams in 32 days, and I'm going to break down all 32 teams and let you know how they will fare. So let's kick it off right off the bat with our first team. It's the New York Giants. I think this team is going to be a lot of fun to watch this year. I'm excited to see how John Harbaugh does his first year as the Giants head coach. I think this is a good, kind of a good refreshing start for him after that whole stint he had in the Baltimore Ravens. But let's get right into this. New coach John Harbaugh. Obviously, he's coming over to the Giants with Super Bowl ring after he defeated the 49ers back in 2012, and he's bringing Denard Wilson with him, who basically is following him from Baltimore. A lot of things to like about this Giants team this year, and we're going to get into all of it, especially, so as you know, my podcast is the Windy City East podcast. Please make sure to follow me on YouTube. And the offensive coordinator for the Giants is Matt Nagy, and there is a lot of question marks with Matt Nagy, especially as a Bears fan, going back to his issues with Mitch Trubisky, how he almost got Justin Fields murdered against the Cleveland Browns. A lot of question marks. He's not a big fan of running the football. Obviously, with the Kansas City Chiefs, he had Patrick Mahomes. He tries to turn every quarterback into Patrick Mahomes, so I'm hoping he does not do the same thing with Jackson Dart. He just needs Jackson Dart to be Jackson Dart. He doesn't need to try to make him Patrick Mahomes. He just needs for Jackson Dart to just be himself. With that, though, expectations for Jackson Dart are high. He had a good short run last year, of course. He's crazy. He'll run into defensive linemen. He'll run into linebackers. Like, he has no fear. But unfortunately, as a quarterback, you need to have a little bit of fear because you do not want your season to end because you're running like crazy. He is a Josh Allen type of quarterback. He's got a great arm. He's very accurate. So the sky is the limit for Jackson Dart and this New York Giants team. So we shall see how he progresses this season under John Harbaugh and under Matt Nagy. But the free agent signings for the Giants, they went out. They got Tremaine Edmonds for defense. They got Darnell Mooney. They got Ricard, the fullback from the Ravens, and they got Likely from the Ravens as well. This Giants offense should be pretty good this year. Should be a really fun time for Giants fans. Their receivers, Malik Neighbors, obviously they're hoping he takes another jump in year 2. You're hoping Darnell Mooney can continue to be a solid receiver. OBJ, a lot of expectations with him, although I don't know how much you can really expect from him. He's had a lot of knee issues. But he's back with the Giants to continue where he left off before he left. The running back room, Scattaboo, same with Jackson Dart. He just has to stay healthy. He had a freak injury against the Eagles, but the Giants are hoping he can, continue what they saw from him last year. Isaiah Likely and Theo Johnson, really good tight end room, I think. I thought Theo Johnson did really well for the time he played last year. And then obviously adding Isaiah Likely, who has continuity with John Harbaugh as the tight end for the Ravens, coming over to the Giants. Should be a lot of things. The offensive line should be very well improved. Defensive side of the ball, Abdul Carter. They got you with the 3rd overall pick, man, and you didn't really do much last year. I'm hoping you could step up. Obviously, Kayvon Thibodeau on the edge is going to wreak havoc for this Giants team. Losing Dexter Lawrence, though, that hurts. He was that run-stopping defensive tackle. He got a couple sacks. He was a disruptor in the middle of the defense, on the middle of the side. So hopefully he can do that. Hopefully he can, that Giants defense can really make some strides there. Tremaine Edmonds, he was good with the Bears last year. He's obviously he was really good with the Bills. Giants are hoping they can, get some type of a linebacking situation good with him. Obviously having Burns as well for the Giants is obviously gonna help on the defensive side. But now we are gonna get into the over-unders for the Giants, and DraftKings has this team at 7.5. And I was going through the schedule, and I have the Giants right about at 9 wins, and I'm going to show you where those 9 wins are going to come from. They start off the season with a home game against the Dallas Cowboys. I think it's too early in the season for the Giants to get a win here. I think they're still going to be getting used to John Harbaugh's coaching style, and I think they are going to drop that one to the Dallas Cowboys at home. Then they go to Los Angeles to face the Rams. This Rams team is loaded from top to bottom, starting with Matthew Stafford, adding a Myles Garrett, and now you have Aaron Donald coming back from retirement to play for this team. Obviously, that team is thinking about Super Bowl, period, end of story. So they will lose at the Rams. Then they'll bounce back. They'll beat the Titans. They'll beat the Cardinals, because I think the Titans and the Cardinals will be 2 bad teams this year, probably fighting for #1 pick. Then they have a game at the Commanders. I think the Giants are a better team than the Commanders, so they'll get a win there. They'll get a win against the Saints at home. Then they'll have 2 losses at Texans and at the Eagles. I think the Texans defense is just too good for this Giants offense, and I think the Eagles are going to be ready to go against the Giants, so they'll get that win as well. They'll lose that one on the road. Then they'll get back-to-back wins against the Commanders at home and the Jaguars. I like what the Jaguars did last year, but I think this Giants team at this time of the season will be they'll be doing really good. So I think they'll beat the Jaguars there. Then they'll go on the road and lose to the Colts, because I think Daniel Jones will be back. I think the Colts will be a solid team, so I think they'll lose that one at Indianapolis. And then they'll lose at home to the 49ers. Depending on how the 49ers look. If the Niners are riddled with injuries, I could see the Giants getting a win, which would give them 10. But I'm going to give them the loss for now. At Seattle, that's definitely a loss. That's definitely a loss. Sam Darnold and that offense and that defense is going to be trouble for the Giants. And then they'll get a win against the Browns. Then they'll lose at the Lions, and then they'll get the win against the Cowboys on the road against the Cowboys. This will be my surprise win for the Giants. They'll beat the Cowboys because I feel like John Harbaugh will already have what he wants to do in place. The Giants will know exactly what they're doing, and I think they'll steal that win in Dallas, and that'll be the time when people start questioning, is this Cowboys team really a playoff contender, or are they a pretender? So I think the Giants will snag one there. And then they'll get a win on the final game of the season at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. They'll get their get-back against Jalen Hurts and company. So the Giants will get 9 or 10 wins out of this. So I'm taking the over for this New York Giants team. I think it's going to be a fun year for the Giants. Jackson Dart stays healthy. John Harbaugh does a good job coaching. Hopefully Matt Nagy doesn't screw things up too much with Jackson Dart, and he can just let Jackson Dart be Jackson Dart. Hopefully Scatterboo can stay on the field and be healthy. That receiving core is a pretty solid one with Darnell Mooney, with Odell Beckham Jr., with Malik Neighbors. Then you have Malachi Fields, who I'm a big Notre Dame fan, so I know him from Notre Dame. The defense, Abdul Carter, hopefully he can live up to his expectations that he wants. Obviously, this guy came out and said, I wanted LT's number last year. He didn't get LT's number last year. He didn't deserve LT's number last year. Hopefully, he can be better on the defensive side for the Giants, along with Kevin Thibodeau, who's going to wreak havoc from the edges. So this Giants team, 9 wins, sounds about right. Tell me in the comments below what you think the Giants are going to do.